No, well now, Seven Wonders is HarperCollins. And so what happened was, there were three things that I always wanted to write about. One was something about the secret continent of Atlantis, the lost continent of Atlantis. I started becoming interested in that when I was in Greece, because I still have family in Greece. The island of Crete, some people think, was the source of the lost continent of Atlantis. So I started becoming interested in that. But a lot of people have written about Atlantis. So I kind of parked that in the back of my mind. One of the things that I've always wanted to write about was a story that takes place on a desert island where kids are isolated all by themselves and they don't know why they're there. And I had an idea for a series like that years ago. It didn't quite work, and so that went to the back of my mind. And the other thing that I've always been interested in is the seven wonders of the ancient world. I couldn't really think of a way to make that come to life. So that stayed in the back of my mind. All of those three things. And the funny thing about creativity, and this is a word for all of you writers, you may have an idea that you can't make it come to life. It doesn't die. It stays in the back of your mind. For me, those three things, I'd never thought of putting them together. But one day, when I started connecting Atlantis with the seven wonders, well, that makes sense because it's all in the same area of the world, but nobody's ever made any connections between them before. And then the missing piece for me was the story about the desert island. So I came up with an idea of 4 kids who were descended from the royal family of the continent of Atlantis. They have a gene inside of them that connects them to the old royal family. And what this gene does is something very special. It takes whatever they're good at, whether it be computers or sports or whatever, and it turns that ability into a superpower. But anyone who has ever had this condition has never lived past the age of 14. And all of the kids who have this right now in our story are 13. And they've been taken from their home, brought to an island where there are scientists who have found a cure. And what they need to do is they need to find 7 objects that were taken from the ancient civilization of Atlantis and hidden centuries ago in the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And if they can find these 7 objects, bring them back to this secret island, they will be cured. They will also save the world. Problem. Of the 7 wonders, 6 of them no longer exist. So that's the big problem that they have to face in this series.
Very interesting. But actually, your Filipino fans would like to request if you can make it. Maybe you can include our rice service.
Maybe I can include the Philippines in the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
It still exists.
Yeah, I have to think about that.
We would have to change all of the...
Maybe a whole new series that takes place only in the Philippines.
Actually, I like the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And also, I remember reading through an encyclopedia when I was younger about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Well, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
The library.
Yeah, the library in Alexandria. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon are be the central wonder in Book 2, which is called Lost in Babylon.
That's exciting. And of course, the library in Alexandria.
That's going to be later on.
Later on. Okay. Yeah, I love that because my name is Alexandria. Okay, so this idea about, can I say it, like superpowers, it's also reflected in pop culture and like movies like Iron Man 3. Like they also had a similar theme in the last movie. What did you think about that? Like the extremists.
Oh, I haven't seen the movie yet.
You haven't seen the movie?
No. Which one, Iron Man 3?
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 was on. I think it was running on the airplane that it's here. I should have seen that.
It's in the movie.
Oh, it's in the movie theaters? Okay, so it must have been an earlier one.
I just thought it was very interesting. It's also about.
They stole the idea from me.
Right. Let's tell more about. But what about kids as superheroes or with special powers? I mean, is there a tricky way of writing about that? Like,
I think everybody does. How many of you have thought of having superpowers in your life? Hands. Oh, come on. Everybody, Superman. I wanted to have superpowers. I told my friends I was Superman. And they would say, yeah? You're Superman? Okay. Well, go up on the roof and fly. You know, they always got me with that one. I actually wrote the governor of my state. I mean, I grew up in New York State, and I wrote the governor. I said, "Dear Governor, can you please contact all of the scientists in New York and ask them to develop a serum that will turn normal people into superheroes?"